let's make our fresh apple filling. I'm going to use this induction burner. I'm going to add my apples. You have small diced 3 pounds of apples, and what's important for me is that it's actually a small dice and not just a rough chop. The small dice is important because we're going to put it in our turnovers. The size is very important. So we're going to add our sugars, our apples, our sugars, cinnamon. We're going to start cooking. I like using a wooden spoon. I have this on the induction burner on high. I want it to cook and boil. And I want the sugar to liquefy. We can cook this down. The beauty of this filling is it freezes beautifully. It can be made with any of your fall fruits. Pears is delicious. It's a great way to use up apples, to hang on to it. It's beautiful as turnover filling. All of it is goodness. And really what we're just going to do, I love making my own fillings, is thicken it with a slurry. So we have our final 2 ingredients are our cornstarch and water. Let me get this guy out of the way. And I'm back, sorry. Get that out of our way because I want to show you how we're going to use the slurry. Cook this down. Sugar is going to liquefy. Apples have a large moisture content. We're going to have moisture released from the apples. And what we're going to do is we're going to set it. And what we want to make sure is that we activate the starch that we're going to use, cornstarch. And cornstarch thickens about 186, 187. So in my opinion, you need a good boil. We want to make sure this filling isn't runny. And so how we do that is once you get it to a nice boil and you see the starch thicken, you might need to concentrate a little bit. So I would take my time and make sure not pull it right away, and make sure and take my time to cook it down to be exactly where I want to be. If I needed to hit it with a little more slurry, I'd want to double check. I think this is a pretty spot on formula, but the apples will change, certainly with their moisture content, depending on when they've been grown and where they've come from, what type of apple you use. So it is definitely adjustable. So I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to come back when we're ready to add our slurry and I get a good boil going, and I'm going to show you what we're going to look for. All right, we're going to finish off this apple filling. You can see I got a good boil going. I'm on high. I like that. A lot of liquid came out of these apples. So I'm going to add my starch and my water together and make a real nice slurry. And we're going to get this incorporated. I'm going to show you what we're looking for. And like I said, we need to cook this starch to at least 186, and that's what I like when it has a nice boil going. It's kind of sludgy. Here it comes. Here it comes together. Make sure I stir it. There I am. There, here comes my slurry. Oh, get it all off that spoon. I want to make sure you get all that starch incorporated. Adding this here. Right, drops our temperature. Like I said, we want to make sure we cook it all the way through and we get all that starch in there. There it goes. Here we go. We're going to stir it. I like the apples to have a little bite in them. I like that because what's going to happen is as they bake again in our turnovers, they're going to bake even longer in a hot oven. So I'm good. You can see how it's come together, super thick. It's not going to be runny. We don't want it to run out onto our puff pastry. You want to make sure you have this consistency. We don't want any juice-like qualities. We want it all thick, just like you can see, just a beautiful thing. It's got that shine from the cornstarch, from the slurry we added, and it's absolutely perfect. I'm going to take this off the heat. I'm going to stop it here. We're going to add it to, I have this hotel pan. We don't need to put it on an ice bath because the ice bath is for a perishable item. We just need this to cool down to room temperature. Anytime you're working with puff pastry, because it has such a high butter content, you have to make very sure that all your products are going in either room temperature or colder. So I got a little starch on there. So we're going to cool this down, and then we're going to use this to fill our fresh apple turnovers.